This book is not copyrighted, but belongs to NGC and Beyond Unlimited. NGC and Beyond Unlimited are not responsible for any redistribution of The Girl Who Saved the World, or any consequences of doing so. Created by Dylan T. Ryan. Cover by Ariana Salcedo. For Lucas Lamont, Kayla Hernandez, and Samar Faisal. They have changed my mood happily multiple times during my freshman year. I was going through a lot, and yet they kept encouraging me. Thank you. You cannot defeat the power of love. Lila Sanchez. Hello, my name is Lila Sanchez. I have brown hair and ocean blue eyes. I tend to wear mostly colorful shirts and black shorts. I live in a town called Versailles, which isn't really known at all. It's a forgotten town. I'm a bit of an outcast in my school, but I try to make the best of it. I don't know why everyone teases me. I think it's because of my obsession. Don't tell anyone I told you this, but I actually really like playing with unicorns and plushies. I know exactly what you're thinking, so you play with unicorns, so? I am in 9th grade actually. Well, it wasn't always this way. I once had a ton of friends like you. It's just, when people in my school found out about my obsession, they shunned me out. It isn't kind, but I try to enjoy it. At least I have my trusty unicorn sidekick Amber to keep my spirits up. She's a cute light red unicorn my mom got me for my 9th birthday. This unicorn stands out from the rest. She has a fire tail. Don't tell me that isn't cute, it is. Do you still think I'm weird? Just in case you think I am, I'm going to tell you a great story. The story where I saved the world from a certain someone. This will change your entire perspective on me. Hello, my name is Lila Sanchez. I have brown hair and ocean blue eyes. I tend to wear mostly colorful shirts and black shorts. I live in a town called Versailles, which isn't really known at all. It's a forgotten town. I'm a bit of an outcast in my school, but I try to make the best of it. I don't know why everyone teases me. I think it's because of my obsession. Don't tell anyone I told you. This story all began in my school. It was the beginning of a new year. Just like my dad says, new year, new you. I tried to be a new person, but my unicorn liking was just standing out too much. I was wearing a unicorn t-shirt at that time. I was on the way to school on the bus, and then we stopped to pick up my best friend, Sam. Sam was a girl who had brown hair and brown eyes. She likes wearing merchandise from her favorite streamer, Elena is the Gamer. I wave to her, hi Sam. She sees me and comes to my seat. Hello Lila, how are you doing? I reply, I'm doing okay, Amber is too. Sam giggles, you ready for this year? I was very nervous all of a sudden when she asked. Every year at the beginning of the year, the school bully Robert always pulls a big stunt on me. I am not ready to see him again. I think to myself, please tell me the school finally suspended him. Sam looks at me worried, Lila, are you okay? You're usually a lot more talkative to me than this. I continue staring off into space until Sam shakes me out of my frozen state. Oh, yeah, I said unhappily. She looks at me worried. After a little bit of silence between us, I say, it's Robert, he's going to do something to me again. Sam bites her lip. I am kind of worried what he'll do. Sam looks at me again, and says, the best advice I can give you is to stay with me today, he won't mess with you on my watch. I hug her tightly, just as we arrived at school. When we got off, right away Robert was looking at us with a mischievous grin. I shouted, oh no, Robert. Sam holds on tight to me. He only stares at me and then walks into the school. I think I'm off the hook, Sam. Well, I was, but then his friend Mark shoved me to the ground. All he said was oops, and didn't seem to care about me. Sam helped me up, come on, I'll get you to the nurse so she can take care of those scratches. She helped me to the nurse, and the nurse gave me some treatment. I even got a lollipop afterwards. I was about to put it in my mouth to suck on it, but then Robert took it from me. I'll take that, you freak. He then blew a raspberry at me, and put it in his mouth. My eyes began to tear up a bit. I held it in, and headed off to my first period class. My school life stinks. As I got to my homeroom class, I realized that I forgot to get some pencils for class. I sighed, and simply sat down. I scramble around in my backpack, trying to look for one. The bell then rang, making the teacher come into the room. He didn't seem to be in a good mood today. "Good morning, class, I will be your English teacher this year. Now let's take a pop quiz to see where you're at." I bang my head into my desk. I'm not good at English, I can't even write an essay that well. Someone behind me tapped me on the shoulder. I looked around and saw a very cute boy behind me. I don't know his name, but he had short black hair, brown eyes, and was wearing a very cool-looking black jacket. He kind of looks like a biker, but he is very nice. He then said, "Hey, I'm Charles," he says with a smile. I was blushing too hard. He pulls out a blue pencil case and gives me 2 pencils. "Let me know if you ever need any more." My heart was melting. He is so kind and cute. I turned around as our teacher handed out the tests. "Okay, you all have 10 minutes, no cheating." I raise my hand. "Sanchez, what do you want?" "Why do we have to take a pop quiz at the beginning of the year on the first day?" I ask. "Because I can. Now take the quiz now, Sanchez." After the pop quiz was done, in the 5th period, a lot of people failed the quiz, but cute Charles did not. I am good in all of my other classes, even math. Why does English have to be the one subject that I fail in the most? Charles came to me and saw that I failed with a 26%. Yikes, is English not your strong suit? This time I had the nerve to talk to him. "Yeah, I'm great at all my other subjects though." He then showed me his quiz score. He got a 98%. "Wow. Great job, Charles." He thanked me, and then gave me an offer. "You know, I could give you some private lessons. I'll turn your 26% into a 86% in no time." I hugged him. "I'll take that as a yes then?" I said to him, "Yes." I just remembered, I never told Charles my name yet. "I'm Lila, by the way." "Nice to meet you, Lila," he says, "cute name." He called me cute. I started to blush again. The bell rang again. It was time for lunch. I walked away from Charles, still blushing. This is where everything stops being normal. On my way to lunch, I saw a shining locker. There was nobody else down the hallway, and there were no cameras in that area, so nobody else noticed the shining. I walked over to the locker, only to notice there was no lock, and there was a shine outside the lock hole. It was weird, all the lockers have locks on them. I opened it up, and inside there was a blue portal. I was in awe. I knew magic was real, but I had never seen it in real life before. I put my hand in the portal and wiggled my fingers, then something threw me in. I don't know what, I don't know how, but it did. When I was through the portal, I saw a mythical world I never knew existed. There were cute monsters, walking plants, giants, and unicorns. A unicorn came over to me. She had a blue lightning bolt for a tail, and a small one on her side. "You must be the chosen one," she says. "Come, Stardust Stella must see you." Out of random, that unicorn then teleported me only to a palace. In front of me were giant doors, a lot bigger than me. I've seen doors bigger than me, but those were the biggest. Anyway, when I went through them I saw the most beautiful unicorn I have ever seen. I think this was Stardust Stella the other unicorn was talking about. She had a rainbow mane with a star on her side, and a rainbow tail. She had a lot of stars twinkling around her. "Who are you?" I kneeled down in front of her. "I am Lila Sanchez, citizen of Versailles," I say with my eyes closed. Stardust Stella floats me over closer to her throne and asks, "Have you gone through the magical locker?" I nod my head. "Young Lila, you must be the chosen one," Stella says, patting my head. I was a little confused on what Stardust Stella was saying. "What do you mean? What's going on?" Stardust Stella put me on the floor and summoned a plate of cookies. I started eating them. "Enjoy the cookies, I'm gonna tell you a story." A long time ago, back in my childhood, I had a second sister named Dark Dusk. She then ran away from home in hope she could return with mystical treasures. However, this wasn't the case. She ran off to get mystical treasures, yes, but this treasure is not valuable at all. I only found out not too long ago, and I made the magic locker, hoping someone would hop in. It looks like you're the one who was crazy enough to do it. I swallowed the cookies and asked, what is this treasure, and why isn't it good? Stardust Stella starts again, the name of it is the Death Stone. With it, the user can teleport and instantly cause chaos in an area, planet, or dimension. Without someone to control it, the Death Stone could eventually cause the end of the multiverse. I just felt a pit in my stomach at the sound of that. I also dropped a cookie. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? I then started speaking again. What can I do about it? Stardust Stella handed me a sheet of paper, which seemed to show the Death Stone and something else around it. These are the power stones you need to collect to save the universe. Each of them possess a different energy to stop the Death Stone from causing mayhem, and instead creation. I look at the sheet. The Joy Stone, the Time Stone, and the Earth Stone. Stardust Stella looks at me. Go, they're in your world, she says, go and get them. Without warning, she teleported me back to school, and the locker had no portal in it. Darn it, I wanted another cookie too. Turns out when I was teleported back, the day was over. I didn't know, I lost track of time back there in the other dimension. Charles came to me and asked, what are you doing in that empty locker, Lila? It was probably best if I didn't tell anyone about the Death Stone, so I had to make a little lie. I don't like lying. I'm cleaning it up, for the incoming 7th graders, I said. Charles looked at me with his big smile and said, okay, you have a nice day, Lila, and walked away. I went out of the school and looked at the sheet once again. The Earth Stone is in Big Rock? I only knew one person who would be daring enough to help get the Earth Stone, Sam. What? Did you expect some sort of miner? No, she likes stones. She'll be crucial to the mission for sure. Just in case, I took a picture of the sheet on my phone and then started to go find Sam. She was outside, asleep under a tree. I shook her awake. She then said, Lila? The whole school has been looking around for you all day. Where have you been? I figured that Sam was my best friend, and I could trust her enough to tell her about my mission. So, I told her everything about Stardust Stella, Dark Dusk, and that other dimension. Sam looked at me, thinking I have lost my mind. Lila, even you should know they aren't real at your age, she says, shaking her head. They're real. Trust me. After I said that, she teleported us there. Is that good enough for real, Sam? Sam was at a loss for words. Her mouth was open, her eyes were open wide, and she was frozen in place. Stella asks me, Lila, who is this palace intruder? Oh, she is my friend Sam. Say hi, Sam. Sam just couldn't say anything, so I pinched her arm and came back. Ah. Hi. I didn't know unicorns were real, so Lila teleported me to you. Stardust Stella simply looks down at her, and asks me, Lila, what's the real reason you came back to me with this Sam? I reply, well, I think I need a little help getting the Earth Stone, so I want Sam to help us save the universe. Stardust Stella starts thinking about it, and then agrees to have Sam help me. No more people, we cannot have word about Dark Dusk going public, or else this might get really ugly. I only turned my head to the side in confusion. It means she may retaliate worse than she ever has before, she says. After that, Stardust Stella turned into a real human. Fine, but I'm tagging along with you too, so I know you're doing the job. Okay, we can live with that, I said. This is honestly surreal, Sam says. I mean, this is not every day for me, for anyone on that matter. I grabbed a cookie from Stardust Stella's plate, and then she teleported us back to the tree. So, I don't think Stella trusts Sam? The entire walk we were on to find the Earth Stone, she was staring at Sam. She then let out a groan. My mind says that the Joy Stone is right here, but that cannot be right. I thought, what if she was right? Is that bad? She puts my hand on my shoulder and says, not unless Dark Dusk has it. That is when I gasped in fear. Is she following us? Just then, as if I was asking for it, Dark Dusk just jumped out of a wormhole in front of us three. She was still in her unicorn form. Dark Dusk was a black unicorn with a purple mane and tail, and instead of having a single unicorn horn, she had 2 devil horns. Me and Sam shrieked and hid behind Stardust Stella. You really thought you could hide from me that easily, Stella? Stardust Stella stood up for us. You need to leave me and these heroes alone, she shouts. We are going to stop your evil plan to fill the universe with chaos. Dark Dusk just went into a fit of laughter. None of us moved until she was done laughing. You're serious, sister? You don't have the right idea of what you're doing. Nobody who ever went to find the 3 stones ever has lived. I stood up. I'm going to do it. I'm not a quitter. Dark Dusk hit the floor, then said, if you claim to be so powerful, then let's see how you can deal with this. Her horns began to shine, and then an iron ant was spawned. Dark Dusk, that's just an iron ant, Sam says. Well, Dark Dusk says, it may look like an iron ant, but it's a tiny beast. It then began to quickly make its way over to my feet. Good day, and have fun not being able to get the power stones. Dark Dusk teleported back to her dimension. I honestly didn't get it too much. Why would she pick a tiny ant as my first battle? I shrugged it off and just stepped on it, then us 3 walked away. Stardust Stella then said, Dark Dusk doesn't have the Joy Stone, she says. If she teleported away with it, then it wouldn't be in my head anymore. It almost hurts, but I'm okay. Just a little headache. By the time we got to Big Rock, where it had the Earth Stone and was a town landmark, I heard a familiar voice in my head. It sounded like someone I knew, but I can't put my finger on it. Anyways, Big Rock was mostly famous for it being the biggest rock in my state. It was 15 meters big, and taller than Stardust Stella when she was in her unicorn form, and that is big. I didn't want to destroy Big Rock, we all don't. Do we really need to break open Big Rock to get the Earth Stone? I asked. Unfortunately, it's the only way, Stardust Stella says. I can put the rock back together once we get the Earth Stone though. I have a spell. She then spawned a pickaxe. Sam grabbed it and began whacking Big Rock with it. Sam kept whacking Big Rock with the pickaxe. It really hurts me that our town landmark had to be destroyed for the Earth Stone to be found. Big Rock is too tough, Sam shouts, I can't break it. Stardust Stella took the pickaxe and gave Big Rock a very good whack. It must have been very sturdy, the pickaxe broke. Sweet, now we don't have a pickaxe, Sam said. I had an idea. Stella, didn't you say that you had a spell to put Big Rock back together? She nods. Can't you use the spell to break Big Rock and get the Earth Stone? Stardust Stella says, I can try, but I'm more of a fixer. Stardust Stella tried using her magic to break open Big Rock, but nothing happened. My goodness! You Vernsai people have very hard rocks. She then began to channel some energy for her magic to become empowered, and then tried again to break Big Rock. Sure enough, nothing happens again. Ugh, that's a strong rock, she says as she falls down, exhausted. But then, I blinked and then Big Rock disintegrated. The Earth Stone fell down on the pile of dust. It was a small green rock with an etching of a vine. I was very confused as to what happened, but at least we got the Earth Stone. I shook Stardust Stella awake, and showed her the Earth Stone. Look what I got. Stardust Stella was super confused. How? I then told her, I don't know. One moment it was whole, the next I blinked and it turned into dust. Stardust Stella told me, that is good, but I am very tired. Can we get something to eat? Sure, I said. You will not believe what kind of food Earth has to offer. Yeah, we have a ton of things that are delicious, Sam says. We took Stardust Stella to a bakery to show her some food we humans make. Hello there, my name is Stan, how can I help you today? Hi, can we get 3 cupcakes and 3 mugs of hot cocoa? My mouth waters. Stardust Stella then asks me, Lila, you don't have sugar gemstones or anything like that? I shook my head, no, but I'm sure you'll love cupcakes and hot cocoa as much as you love sugar gemstones. Just then, I felt something hitting my foot. I looked down and saw a cupcake was alive and had arms. I must have been dreaming, so I slapped myself, but no, there was really a cupcake punching my foot. You really do not see that every day, you really don't. I squished it, but I think that was the wrong move because just then, a ton of other cupcakes, cakes and others came to life and were not happy with me. I disregarded getting cupcakes and cocoa, and we all ran out of the bakery before all the cupcakes and cakes began chasing us. Stardust Stella quickly spawned a cookie, ate it, and ran with us down the roads. I didn't know what to do, they were catching up quickly. I had to do something. I reacted fast. I took off my shoe and threw it at the dessert army. It killed a few cakes, but not all of them. A cake threw another one onto Stardust Stella. My hair. It ruined my hair. She was upset and casted a spell to kill some more cakes and pastries. A pastry shot a bunch of chocolate chips at us, but it hit none of us. We dodged them all. While they were planning another attack, out of nowhere, they all just died, like big rock randomly disintegrated. I'm so confused why this is happening. Just then, Stan came over. Hey ladies, you know if you want all these sweets, you're going to have to pay for them. I didn't have that kind of money, so I embarrassed myself. Mom, I said to Stardust Stella, can you pay for all the cookies and cakes we ruined? Stardust Stella looked confused, and I winked indicating that I was pretending she was my mom. Sure thing sweetie, she says as she pulls out a few $100 bills from her pockets. Stan snatched them. Good day, he says, as he walks away. I began to sniffle up a little, and Stardust Stella comforted me. It's okay Lila, a few $100 is nothing to me. It's not that. I began bawling my eyes out. What Stella didn't know was that my real mom passed away a long time ago, when I was a toddler. The necklace I wear was what she gave me for my 12th birthday. It is the only memory I have left of her. So when I told Sam and Stardust Stella, they started to pity me. Pretty much any time someone mentions Mom, I cry often. Nobody knew, but I'm so happy that I could finally get that off my chest. Stella pats my shoulder. It's okay Lila, we all go through these things at one point in life, but that doesn't mean that they're gone forever. I lost my father when I was a unicorn princess. When he died, they coronated me as the new unicorn queen. It will sting at first, but once you remember the fun times you had with those you love, you'll laugh a little. My dad was an amazing daredevil king unicorn. He used to do crazy stunts and battle against the most evil creatures. I didn't want to be rude, but I had to ask, how did he die? Well, one day, he was going to attempt the 1,000-mile gallop. But on mile 400, all I can say is he went into the glory lake, and I never saw him after that. My best guess, he drowned. I sighed. Life will have some crazy changes, but that should not bring you down for who you truly are. I hugged Stardust Stella, and she hugs me back. After some comfort and resting, I was finally ready to go find the time stone. Stardust Stella tells us it is located somewhere in the future. Where? She has absolutely no idea. Stardust Stella then made a portal to somewhere in the future. We all hopped inside and we found ourselves in a deep, black cave. I didn't like the dark, and I was very scared. Can you turn on a light? I'm scared. Stardust Stella made a magic light ball that follows us so we can see. Once she made it, the ball of light made me relax. We walked through the cave and found almost nothing, except a small light. We started running towards the light, thinking there would be something at the end of the tunnel. It turns out, we were right. Once we got to the end of the tunnel, we were met with emptiness. I think this is what the future of Earth is when dark dusk takes over the world. It frightened me. All that was there was a note. It said, I really understand that you three are claiming to be heroes. It amuses me to think that you all are really trying to take back my stones. I know you already have the Earth Stone. In this future, all humans and beings will perish, and I fill this world with my monsters. Stardust Stella lost all of her powers. You all are stuck here forever. If I ever see you three, I am going to laugh so hard. After reading, the ball of light disappeared. I started to freak out. There was no way we could go home now. I'm starting to wonder what mess I have gotten myself into. Get me out of here, Stella. I can't, she says. You read what she said. Without my magic, we're going to be here for a while. She seemed unusually calm about this. Sam was stressing quite a bit, knowing we could never leave, but I knew we could not give up yet. We're so far in, we can quit now. Girls. Maybe if we find the time stone, we can travel through time and go to the day where dark dusk begins her reign, and save the world. Stardust Stella liked the idea, so did Sam. We began searching for the time stone, but everywhere we looked was ashes and fire. It looked like all dark dusk wanted to do was destroy everything. Why is she like this? Just then, I heard that voice again. It almost sounded like it was calling my name. Once again, I shook it off and kept exploring what used to be Earth. Once we were at Big Rock wasn't there. Instead, there was a massive stone statue of dark dusk. I'm pretty sure that was Big Rock. I gently touched Big Rock, wishing dark dusk hadn't made a statue using it. Earth has really turned into a dump, Sam says, shaking her head. Stardust Stella then thought something. Hey, if the Earth stone was inside Big Rock, would the time stone be inside Big Rock again? It's no use, I say. Without your magic, we can't break Big Rock again. Just then, the statue of dark dusk disintegrated. The time stone was not inside, and I am very confused as to why all our problems get solved almost instantly. We just walked away, but then found my home. We went inside, and everything was destroyed. Unusually enough, all of the pictures of my mom were intact. I left, since I didn't want to cry about Mom again. We all began to think, where was the time stone? Could it be with dark dusk? I then got an idea as to where it is. Stardust. Maybe the time stone is where we began. She asks me, and where is that? We then went on a walk to my school, and sure enough, nobody was there and everything was destroyed. The locker I came into Stardust Stella's world was intact. I opened it up, and the time stone was inside. I took it, and quickly used it to get us all back to the present. After we got the time stone, I think it was very obvious that we all needed to get some relaxation before finding the Joy Stone. Sam and I decided to take Stardust Stella to my house to rest a little. When we got there, I started hugging the floor, being glad that my home wasn't destroyed. Dad then came into the room. Hey Lila, who are your friends? Oh, hi Dad. Meet Sam and Stella. We're going to be here just for a little bit. Sure thing, he says. I was just cooking lasagna. Do you two want to stay for dinner? Stardust Stella looked confused. What's lasagna? Dad told her. It's pasta over cheese and meat. No thanks, she says. I'm vegan. Oh, I am so sorry, Dad says. You two make yourself at home. Dad went back into the kitchen to make lasagna, and we went to my room. I showed Stardust Stella my unicorn collection. I knew you were obsessed with my kind, but do you really need to have this many toys? Yes, I do, I say. I have over 50 different unicorn plushies, toys, and figurines. I just couldn't help myself. Whenever I get money, I will always be seen at the toy store. I go there for unicorn toys so much. People call me a unicorn celebrity. I then introduced Stardust Stella to Amber, my favorite unicorn toy. She takes a look at it, and smiles when she sees it. I ask her, isn't she the cutest unicorn ever? She sure is, she says. Maybe we should take her on our journey to defeat Dark Dusk. I nod, and put Amber into my backpack. You know, Stardust Stella says, I've been a part of royalty for so long, I forgot what it feels like to have fun. Sam was shocked. You don't know how to have fun? Stardust Stella shook her head no. Let's reintroduce you to some fun, Stella. During the next hour, we played board games, had pillow fights, had makeup fashion shows, and anything and everything we could think of. At the end of that, we were laughing together. Lila, Sam, that was the best time I ever had in years. Stardust Stella had a blast at the end. I took a look at my kitty clock, and it was 6 p.m. We had to get back on track. I went downstairs and got 2 servings of lasagna, and a salad for Stardust Stella. After that, we left to begin looking for the Joy Stone. Once we got outside, we needed to figure out where the Joy Stone was. Stardust Stella used her magic, and said, "I don't understand, my magic says it is right here, that cannot be right at all." I ask, "Is your head hurting?" She nodded, as she grasped her head in pain. "Does that mean dark dusk is near?" She nods, "Maybe, I don't know." I started looking around, wondering where the Joy Stone was. I checked everywhere around us, but I couldn't really think of anywhere it could be. We all began to think, where could the Joy Stone be? Once again, I heard the familiar voice again. It was calling my name. I asked, "Did you hear someone call me?" "No," Sam says. Stardust Stella shook her head no. I heard the voice again. It said something about my necklace. "Guys, someone told me something about my necklace," I said. Stardust Stella and Sam looked at me, both confused. "I'm serious," I say, "something said my name." However, we couldn't figure it out in time. We were teleported to a cave once again. This cave, however, was a lot more scary. We all heard groaning and wailing in the distance. We began walking into the cave, unknowing what fate lies here. Once we got to the end, the entire cave began to shake violently. Charles then came out, but he didn't have his cute brown eyes. He had black eyes with red pupils. "Lila!" He shouts, "Are you surprised?" I gasped. I had no idea that Charles was under the control of Dark Dusk the whole time. "Who are you, and what did you do with the real Charles?" "I am the real Charles," he says. "See, Dark Dusk took me over, and now I realized how much I love evil." I frowned greatly. This isn't anything like him. Dark Dusk has become a stronger being than she already is, with the Death Stone. You 3 do not stand a chance against her. I charged and kicked Charles. "Oh? Did you really think that a single kick would hurt me?" I became angry in the Japanese language. "You will not defeat the power of love." I do speak Japanese, but only when I am truly angry. After saying that, I began kicking and punching him multiple times. It seems as if that didn't do anything. If Charles had a video game health bar, it'd be at full HP. "I understand that you 3 are still trying to be heroes," he says, "but Dark Dusk takes many centuries to even go up against her." Just then, I found myself in a dark void. I shouted for help, but then heard that voice again. "Lila," it says. "Who are you, voice?" "I am your mother," Mom says, and her spirit is in front of me. "Mom." I try to hug her, but she is a spirit, so I cannot. "Sorry you can't hug me, Lila, but that is besides the point," she says. "I have been trying to tell you that the Joy Stone was with you the entire time." "It is?" She tells me, "Yes, the Joy Stone has been on your necklace the whole time. If you want to use it, you need to be happy. Like you said, there is no way that Charles and Dark Dusk can beat your happiness. If you keep being angry, they will only absorb your attacks. So keep being happy, and they will not win." "Okay, thank you so much. Mom told me this before she left, and don't forget this, Lila, I am never going to leave you. I will be in your heart." She then fades away right before I could say goodbye, and then I come back to reality. Sam looks at me. "You came back. You passed out for a little while." Mom talked to me. I told her with a smile. She says the Joy Stone is on my necklace. All I have to do is spread my happiness to Charles and Dark Dusk. Charles does an evil laugh. "You're all as stubborn as a mule." I begin to put a bright smile on my face, and the Joy Stone begins to shine. Charles asks, "Hey, what are you doing, Lila?" "Bringing joy." I then began singing a happy song, which blasted a beam at Charles. Once it disappeared, Charles was on the ground. "Charles." I ran over. "Oh Charles, I didn't mean to kill you. If you hear me in heaven, remember I have always loved you since this morning." I kiss his forehead. He slowly wakes up. "Lila?" "Charles." I hug him and help him up, this may not make sense but, Charles interrupts. I know, Dark Dusk tried to take over the world. She took me over and tried to use me to her advantage. Dark Dusk then made her appearance, jumping out of a portal. Stella, you all are trying again, huh? Stardust Stella shot a star at her, making a pinch in her. Let me take care of her, Stella, I said, as I started to have a bright smile on my face again. The joy stone shined brightly right away. Once I began singing, it shot a beam at Dark Dusk. It must have done quite a number, but she still wasn't knocked out. I wasn't too surprised, she is more powerful than Charles when he was possessed, I'm sure. I was smiling again, but then Dark Dusk struck me. I felt a pinch, but it wasn't as bad as it was supposed to be. Stardust Stella turned into a unicorn, and began fighting her sister. Get happy and shoot a beam, she shouts. I began singing happily and another beam was shot at both of them. It had no visible effect on Stardust Stella, but Dark Dusk was struggling to stand up. I smiled, and touched her horns. The unimaginable then happened. She turned into a white unicorn with a green mane and a normal unicorn horn. Stella? Dark Dusk? The unicorn says, I'm not Dark Dusk, I am Nature Nina. She must have been under evil influence. Both Stardust Stella and Nature Nina hugged each other. But before any of us could celebrate, the case began to shake once again. Once the shaking was over, a giant blue spirit came out from Nature Nina. So, the legends were true, Stardust Stella says. I ask her, what legends? The legend of Chrysalim, she says. Chrysalim takes over a body and uses it as his own. Now that he fed on a lot of my sister's power, he's unstoppable. I think I am the one to stop Chrysalim. Chrysalim revealed its face, and he looked very scary. Lila, he moaned. Charles charged forward and attacked Chrysalim, but he didn't seem to care too much when Charles punched him. Nature Nina then said, leave Chrysalim to me. She then shot a vine through him. Stardust Stella made a starstorm at Chrysalim. I realized something while they were holding him over. Since we now had the 3 power stones, all we had to do was get the Death Stone and then get them to fuse. Nature Nina, I ask her, do you know where the Death Stone is? She gave me the Death Stone. I quickly took out the Joy Stone from my necklace and got the other power stones. Sam, Charles, Stardust Stella, and Nature Nina kept attacking Chrysalim, barely hurting him at all. I tried to figure out how they could fuse together, but then they started shining on their own. They floated up and fused together. I think this is the Stone of Creation. I grabbed it, and used it to make a shining light. It brightly lit up the cave, and hit Chrysalim. It kept shining brighter and brighter, to the point where even Stardust Stella needed glasses. Chrysalim roared. As it kept shining brighter, I sang the happy song again. It was not enough to defeat Chrysalim. But just then, someone came here. I think their name was, Your Name Here. I don't know how they got here, but they began to sing the happy song, without having to know any of the situation. Your Name Here kept singing, and Chrysalim began to disintegrate. Everyone then began singing the happy song, and Chrysalim exploded in a blue gas. After the battle, the fight against Chrysalim has ended. Once it was over, the power stones were still the Stone of Creation, and we all passed out. The Stone of Creation made a small light and teleported us back to the park one by one. Your Name Here was teleported back from wherever they came from. When we all woke up, we looked at each other. Chrysalim was scary, but like I said, no darkness can defeat the power of love. Lila, Charles started, was what you said true? I looked at him confused. Do you love me, Lila? My face turned red. Yeah. Ever since we met, I had a huge crush on you. Charles came to me, and said, I don't mind, especially since you just saved the world. Stardust Stella said, he is right, you just saved everyone from universal devastation. I hugged everyone. Lila, Sam, Charles, Stardust Stella says, it was nice to work with you 3 to save the world from Chrysalim. Thanks so much for the help. If you ever want to come back to my dimension, we'd be happy to have you back. I ask, will there be cookies? she nods, and I jump up in excitement. If you ever want to come back, she says, use this. She gave us a rainbow gemstone. Nature Nina made a portal back to their dimension. See you all again soon. They jump inside, and the portal closes. I already miss them. Sam, Charles, and I begin to make our way back to our homes. So, after that roller coaster of events, did you end up liking me in the end? I have a boyfriend, 2 unicorn friends, and a human best friend now. You should have never judged me from the beginning. Everyone has their likes and dislikes, you shouldn't let those stop you from your goals. I mean, look where it has gotten me. Now, I help baby unicorns stay safe from evil beings like Chrysalim. They always need to remember this, nothing can defeat the power of love. If I ever run into you one day, I wish to share my story with you. We can keep everyone safe from the evil clutches of Chrysalim together.